Hello, it's Dr. John from Corazon Chiropractic Clinic, and I wanted to share with you one of my favorite patient stories because I get asked all the time by patients, well, I've got this problem, but I'm sure it's too late for me. I'm way too far gone. I've been having this for so many years, and it's basically just the surgeon's desk, a surgeon's table, or that's it. I just got to deal with it. And I always love sharing this story because it's a great example of what's possible and how late it's possible. Now, I had a patient who came in, 89 years old, former pipe fitter, put a lot of strain into his back. And he came in because he had an ankle that was bothering him. Now, I looked at the man and I said, you know what? What's going on with your back? Because when he came in on a walker, hunched over. And I said, let me do you a favor. Let's take some x-rays of your back, find out what's going on in there, and if there's anything that I can do, I'll explain it and be able to see what I can do for you. And looking at his back, he had a lot of subluxations, just things in his back that weren't moving correctly and hadn't for quite some time. And chiropractors will help those things. Now, it had been going on for so long that his bones had worn all the way through the discs. No disc space left in his low back. His neck wasn't a whole lot better either. And looking at that low back, just about any doctor would say, this is it. I mean, we can try some surgery, but at this stage, this is about as good as it gets. Let's just keep you as medicated as possible for the symptoms. And, he had his walker and that was it. But with chiropractic, I knew that there were some things in there that we could still address to make his life at least a little better. Now, like I told him, to get the kind of benefits that he needed, it was going to be 3 times a week for a number of months. Now, once we got done with the first month, we noticed that he was coming in more like this than before. And he was saying, you know what I'm able to do now? I'm able to fold up my walker and put it up against the wall in my house because I don't need it there anymore. And just 2-3 weeks later, he was coming in on just a cane and about this high up. And about 2-3 weeks later, he was coming in standing fully straight up with no support whatsoever and holding the door open for the pretty young lady that he had a little bit of a crush on that he shared a time slot with. And he was getting back into his life. Now, one of the happiest moments of my entire career was when he came in and said, you know what I did last weekend, Doc? I went out with my buddies and I had a couple of highballs. I said, well, as your doctor, I got to tell you that alcohol is probably not good for you. But I was so happy, and I shared that with him too, because that was his life. It's what gave him happiness, joy, purpose, excitement, and he was able to get back into this life that he thought was light years beyond what was possible. And that's what we hope for you too. And I hope that this story has been able to share a little bit about what's possible with chiropractic and how it's not too late for you either.